Straight ahead on News 3, some of the demolition work begins in downtown Sun Prairie 2.5 weeks after the deadly gas explosion.
No parole for Stephen Pyrus. Hear from the judge inside the courtroom during today's sentencing phase.
And less than a week away now, the Madison community prepares for the CrossFit Games.
This is News 3 at 10.
Thanks for joining us tonight. A scare in downtown Madison this evening after a fire in a parking ramp.
It led to the precautionary evacuation of the Orpheum Theater. Multiple units responding to the parking ramp on Carroll Street just before 6 tonight. About 25 minutes later, that fire was out. Officials said the fire was, quote, smoldering from the wall. Both flames and smoke were visible. There are no reports of any injuries. We're getting a first look today at new video of the Sun Prairie gas explosion. This is surveillance video looking over the parking lot of Sun Prairie Supplies. This was released by the city of Sun Prairie. The explosion happened on the other side of the road, a few buildings down. It shows the moment of that blast. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you can see one person get knocked to the ground right there. A short while later, first responders begin to arrive as that fire intensifies. Firefighter and business owner Captain Corey Barr was killed in the blast. Crews have finished their investigation now, but the area is still blocked off to the public for safety reasons.
The demolition of the Glass Nickel Pizza across the street from where the explosion happened began today. On the company's Facebook page, it reads, "Thanks for 14 great years, 101 West Main Street. Hard to watch you go. Look forward to your glorious return." A Madison man will not be eligible for parole under a Dane County judge's ruling today.
Stephen Pyrus is serving a life sentence after he was convicted of killing his wife and causing an explosion at his house to cover it up. Pyrus has tried to argue that his wife asked him to kill her. But today, Judge Nicholas McNamara called him a liar. Pyrus confessed to loosening a gas line to a dryer in that home, causing an explosion that leveled the house on Madison's west side. The judge says the public deserves for Pyrus to die in prison.
Nobody should ever think that you could do all that you did, not simply kill your wife, but nearly kill other people, that you should really ever go home.
Pyrus did not speak in court, but his attorney argued that Pyrus and Leanne Pyrus were only married on paper, so his motive for killing his wife is still in question. The judge says Pyrus does have the option to appeal today's decision.
In Milwaukee, a procession was held today for fallen police officer Michael Mahalski. He was a 17-year veteran of the force who died Wednesday after being shot while trying to make an arrest. He is the second Milwaukee police officer to be killed this year. Fellow police officers and community members lined the route as his body was taken from the medical examiner's office to the funeral home. Mahalski leaves behind a wife and 3 sons. He was 52. The UW-Whitewater Police Department says one of its police canines has died. Canine Russo recently developed a kidney issue and passed away this morning. Russo was officially sworn in to the Whitewater Police Department in June of last year. He worked and lived with his handler, Officer Justin Stuppy. The CrossFit Games are less than a week away, and the city of Madison is working to prepare for the tens of thousands the competition brings in.
But who is going to feed all of those people? News 3's Adam Duxter joins us with what restaurants are doing to prepare for the festivities.
Well, we all like to eat, but when you're a CrossFit athlete, you take it to the next level. So with the CrossFit Games less than a week away, restaurants in town are getting ready.
As these guys prepare for CrossFit athletes, so do these guys. And they know how important this food is.
What you fuel your body with matters more than the actual workout itself.
And they have plenty of hungry customers.
During the CrossFit Games and the weeks leading up to it, you'll see more CrossFit athletes come in, wanting specific things, different kind of diets, higher protein.
Fit Fresh is just one of the places in Madison changing things up for the CrossFit Games. Across town, the Avenue restaurant has an entirely new menu crafted for CrossFit.
They like to eat, and they'll also add additional protein. So we have a la carte pork chops, a la carte tenderloin, sirloin, chicken, whatever they want to add to make it even more of a meal besides what we have. We want to say yes and make sure that they leave ready for their next competition.
Because to the athletes, it's not food, it's fuel.
Heavy protein, high fat, high carb.
So when the competitors come, these guys are ready.
We have very large tables, so we can accommodate large seating. So if they come in with their family, with all their friends, with their fellow athletes, we can fit them all in here. So come one, come all.
The CrossFit Games start on August 1st and go to the 5th. Plenty of other restaurants are also getting in on the food options, so if you're looking to stock up on protein, now's the time to do it.
Adam Duxter in our news center. Adam, thank you. CrossFit Games aren't just for elite athletes. You, too, can take part in the fitness fun at the Fit Barge. This is a freestanding space out in the middle of Lake Monona. Out on the barge, people of all fitness levels can take classes.
I think it gives an opportunity for the local community, visitors, and attending athletes and spectators to do something outside of the norm while they're here and hopefully experience CrossFit in a way that makes them want to engage with it even more.
Quite a view during that workout. The Fit Barge is free, by the way. If you want to sign up for a class, we've got a link at our website, channel3000.com. Again, the Reebok CrossFit Games will begin next Wednesday, August 1st through the 5th, held at the Alliant Energy Center. This is the second year for the games in Madison. Last year, more than 70,000 people attended, generating $12 million in spending throughout the county. Madison will host those games through at least 2021.
Let's turn it over to weather now. Meteorologist Dave Caulfield is in the Weather Center. Dave?
Another beautiful night on the way tonight, Charlotte, with temperatures falling into the 50s and comfortable humidity. Check out this view in downtown Madison of the Edgewater Skycam. You can see the moon off in the distance. Unfortunately, North America missed the blood moon eclipse, but keep an eye on the moon for the next couple of nights because Mars actually might be visible close to it, especially as we head into the evening hours of Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Right now, though, no Mars. Just seeing temperatures in the 60s with humidity at 70%. Temperatures dipping into the 50s already in Camp Douglas, the Dells, Black River Falls, and Wautoma. And 63 in Madison, in the mid-60s still in Monroe. Dew points in the 40s and 50s, very comfortable air in town. Not much of a wind to help move that air around. So another great night to open the windows. Great sleeping weather on the way. Temperatures in the mid to upper 70s with sun and clouds tomorrow and maybe the outside chance of seeing a shower or storm. Take a look at more unsettled weather on the way in your First Alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Dave, thank you. A raging wildfire in Northern California has claimed 2 lives, and it is threatening thousands of homes.
The fire exploded in Shasta County last night and into today, tearing through 2 towns before jumping the Sacramento River into Redding. CBS's Danielle Nottingham has our continuing coverage.
This bird's eye view shows what's left of homes in Redding, California.
Literally almost what can be described as a tornado occurred over this fire.
The fast and furious car fire has forced more than 38,000 people to evacuate with little to no warning.
Oh my God, everybody's like panicking and going crazy and everybody's just trying to leave.
Greg Hartley and his wife Claudia said it looked like Armageddon.
We just saw people scrambling all over to get out and they were yelling to get out. Police, evacuate, evacuate, evacuate.
Houses smoldered as residents came by to survey the damage Friday. This couple even retrieved their cat from an unburned bush.
It's okay. Got the animals out. Parents weren't here. Saved the neighbor's dog. We can rebuild. It's just a house.
Block after block was destroyed in this town of 90,000, and the sheriff warns for safety reasons it takes several days to clear burned areas. Fatal fire claimed the lives of 2 firefighters and injured 3 others.
And we are fighting the fire as we mourn the loss of 2 members of our firefighting community.
That task isn't expected to get any easier. The forecast includes continued hot temperatures and low humidity, making for challenging conditions, firefighter fatigue, and possibly more evacuations. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Redding, California.
Firefighters are currently working 3 major fires in the state, and many smaller ones are also burning. Well, check out this video from Chicago today. A small plane made an emergency landing on South Lakeshore Drive. No injuries were reported after the unexpected landing around 3 o'clock this afternoon. The Chicago Fire Department says the plane was experiencing some sort of mechanical problem. And as you can imagine, it caused major backups.
The Sauk County Sheriff's Office is warning online daters about romance scams, the type of online fraud targeting dating websites on the rise. Sauk County Sheriff Chip Meister says scammers have been targeting sites like Match.com, OkCupid, Plenty of Fish, and other similar sites. Victims commonly report the fraudulent online relationships start with general conversation before the scammer escalates the conversation to talking about strong feelings and eventually money transfers, most commonly through Western Union, MoneyGrams, or Green Dot cards. According to the release, there is little that law enforcement can really do about these romance scams, and emphasize if it seems too good to be true, it probably is.
The government reports the U.S. economy is growing at its fastest pace in 4 years. President Trump celebrated the news today in the White House Rose Garden.
Once again, we are the economic envy of the entire world. We've accomplished an economic turnaround of historic proportions.
The government says the U.S. economy grew 4.1% from April to June. That's up from 2.2% during the first quarter and the fastest pace in 4 years. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson says the state's economy is in great shape. He was in Rock County today for a visit with Beloit Health Systems. After a tour of the facility, he spoke to us about these new economic numbers and what they mean for Wisconsin.
Wisconsin economy is doing fabulous. I mean, we have a 2.9% unemployment rate. There's no reason for anybody not to have a job. There's not one manufacturing company in Wisconsin, and they are great jobs that can hire enough people.
The U.S. Commerce Department says Americans also opened their wallets following last year's tax cuts. Companies also increased hiring to replenish depleted inventories.
Another Madison mayoral candidate throwing his hat into the ring, Raj Shukla, chair of the Sustainable Madison Committee, has announced his candidacy today. Says he wants to focus on issues like affordable housing and transportation, as well as environmental protection.
I've just developed a real belief that communities working together can really achieve anything. And as mayor, I'd like to help Madison do just that.
Shukla joins Satya Rhodes Conway, Maurice Cheeks, Brenda Conkle as the only official candidates for the mayor's office. Mayor Paul Soglin is not seeking another term. That election will be in April of 2019. More to come at 10. A former Packers fan favorite making a stop with some others in downtown Madison tonight.
And a first-of-its-kind restaurant moving into Madison. We'll tell you what makes it so different next.
Welcome back. New restaurants open up all the time in Madison, of course, but one restaurant is set to open that will be the first of its kind.
It's a pay-what-you-can restaurant operated by Chef Dave Heide. Dave currently owns Liliana's in Fitchburg and Charlie's on Main in Oregon. He says the food industry produces so much waste at the end of the day, he wants to find a way to use that food that is never actually bad. He plans on using excess food from his own restaurants as well as teaming up with a local grocery store to provide the ingredients for his new restaurant. A lot of people ask him if he's worried about people abusing his payment system. This was his response.
They've found that about 80% of people who usually go to pay-what-you-can restaurants end up paying what the original value would be or more. So the idea being that, sure, you might have someone who comes in and scams, but really, I guess I would say if anyone's worried about the scamming part, then, you know, don't come scam us.
There is no set location or opening date yet, but Dave knows he will employ military veterans who are looking to find work and hopes to get as much food distributed to those who need it most.
A serious fungal disease that attacks a popular landscape plant has been found in Wisconsin for the first time. It's known as boxwood blight. Boxwoods are very popular around here for hedges, foundation planting. So the Department of Ag, Trade and Consumer Protection wants people to be aware of it, mainly because of the long-term impact of the spores from this fungus. The blight starts as brown spots on the leaves. Experts say if your plants fall victim, dig it up, double bag it, take it to the landfill so the spores are contained. Otherwise, it could impact your soil for up to 6 years. Packer fans took to a downtown restaurant tonight to meet some of their favorite former Packers and helping raise money for a good cause.
Dorsey Levens, Eugene Robinson, and Earl Dotson appeared at Essen House alongside Gilbert Brown, whose foundation was holding a fundraiser. Fans got autographs and pictures from the players. Funds raised will be going to children's charities across the state. To Brown, keeping these funds in Wisconsin is an important part of his mission.
I do really feel like Wisconsin is my second home because Wisconsin, football-wise and a lot of different things, have done so much for me. So for me to give back and to help out all these kids and make sure everything is here in Wisconsin is because it's in Wisconsin.
The players will be traveling across the state for the next few days to continue fundraising efforts.
Turn now to weather. Dave Caulfield joining us as we look to the weekend and hopefully have a good weekend forecast ahead.
Yeah, not too much in the way of rain chances, but they do start to creep back into the forecast, especially as we head into Sunday. But right now, not bad at all outside. High pressure basically dominating all of the weather across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region. A couple of showers here and there closer to the state of Michigan. We don't need to worry about that for the next 24 hours. Rain totals so far in the month of July, which only has a couple of days left, folks. Crazy to talk about. Under 3 inches in Madison, 2.5 inches basically in La Crosse, and almost 3 inches as well in Milwaukee. And that is starting to get up there in the departure from normal for this month. About 3/4 of an inch behind schedule in Madison and over an inch in La Crosse and almost 2 inches behind schedule in Eau Claire. So we could use a few raindrops. It really doesn't take much this time of year. A couple of rain-free days and that deficit starts to creep up once again. And you can see the results on our drought monitor. We can see that abnormally dry conditions have come back to much of the Badger State. Southern Wisconsin looking good for now, but it doesn't take much to get that to spread a little bit farther south. And we are on track at this point for our first below average month in terms of precipitation in 3 months. Remember, April, one of the snowiest on record. May, one of the wettest on record, and we were well above average in June. But if we don't get any rain, we'll fall about 1 inch to 1.5 inches behind where we should be. Time lapse in Platteville, not showing any rain, actually showing the clouds thinning out. A wonderful day. I can talk about not having rain all I want, but would I give it up for a day like this? Yeah, absolutely, because it's so nice outside in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam, and nice night tonight to maybe view the moon. We didn't get to see the blood moon eclipse because North America kind of missed out on that, but keep an eye on the moon the next couple of days because Mars is actually going to appear in the mid to late evening hours right by the moon. Look to the southeast during the mid to late evening hours. Pro tip over the next couple of days starting on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Today, though, high temperature of 77, still about 5 degrees below normal. We are seasonably cool over the next 5 to 7 days. Temperatures may touch 80 on a couple of those days, but really operating still with pretty cool conditions outside. We're cool right now, 63 in Madison, 58 in the Dells, and 58 in Boscobel. Dew points in the mid-50s, high pressure from Canada, keeping us cool and comfortable outside. Wind speeds, pretty much nada outside, so let's not talk about them. We'll talk about tonight. Temperatures getting into the mid-50s, partly cloudy and comfortable. Tomorrow, very mild, with a slight chance of showers and storms arriving late, and you can see that on future track. Not too many clouds around tonight. Partly sunny skies will visit us tomorrow. Pop-up shower or thunderstorm can't be ruled out, and a similar forecast shaping up on Sunday. Highs will once again be in the mid to upper 70s, and we have to keep that umbrella at the ready just in case we get one of those pop-up showers or thunderstorms. Rain chances a little bit better into Monday, but they stay with us Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Those temperatures are in the low to mid 80s Friday and Saturday, so next weekend overall looking very, very nice. And look at that. We have had to bring back the heat index for next Sunday. Could feel like the low 90s, so for all those saying temperatures are below average, summer is over, get back to school, shopping started. Stop that. That's, see, my mouth
We
was
got a
trying
month
to say
ago
that.
at least.
Exactly. Lots of time to spare and lots of time for temperatures to go up again.
Thank you.
Two former Badgers trying to step up in their second seasons in the National Football League. We'll hear from Vince Beagle and TJ Watt next in sports.
News. Packers training camp will ramp up a bit tomorrow. That's when the team will practice in full pads for the first time, so it'll look and feel more like the real thing. Packer fans around here will be keeping an eye on the progress of linebacker Vince Beagle. The former Badger has battled injuries in his short NFL career, but he made it back on the field late last year and hopes to find a spot in the regular rotation this year. Beagle admits it's been quite a jump from college to the pros, but now that he has some time under his belt, he's ready to take the next step in his NFL career.
No, I am excited to be able to get in here and play, strap on the cleats for Green Bay and being able to wear the uniform. But training camps is a necessary. You know, you're able to train your body, to train your mind, to be able to get ready for the long haul. All's been good. I think mentally I'm locked in there. Now it's just it's getting back to playing football again, we're gonna put the pads on tomorrow. So I think our football shape is really gonna really gonna be important these next couple of weeks.
Another former Badger who was Beagle's running mate in college is Madison is T.J. Watt. T.J., by the way, stands for Trent Jordan. Watt is getting ready for his second NFL season, too. He says it already feels like night and day. Last year, he said he was all about hitting the books to learn the system, but now he's more comfortable with his role on the team. And Watt says he can have a little more personality, perform well in the field, and be a great teammate.
I just want to show more personality. I think it's important for not only my team, but for the fans and people to know who I am as a person. It was just so important to me to be a great football player, because unless you're playing great football, people aren't going to care about you as a person. So I really wanted to take care of that business and now show my personality, but also keep playing football really well.
They're halfway through the Madison Men's City Golf Championship. It's setting up to be a heck of a weekend. In the second round at Odana Hills today, Derek Meyer shot 76 but maintained the lead. Now one shot over Tony Vent and P.J. Nolke. Mike Turner and Austin Braska only 3 shots behind the leader. Round 3 is at Bishop's Bay tomorrow. And golfers ever had this happen? Canadian Open, Sergio Garcia fluffs his chip shot, takes it out in his golf bag. Sergio missed the cut by 1 shot, probably that shot. Kevin Tway leads at 13 under. Steve Stricker makes the cut 7 under, tied for 23rd. And by the way, don't throw your clubs. Brewers started their 8-game road trip with a 7-5 win in San Francisco late last night. Tonight, game 2 of their weekend series with the Giants. Chase Anderson gets the start for the Brewers. He gives up a run here in the second inning after a Buster Posey double. Brandon Crawford drops a double in front of center fielder Keon Broxton. Posey scores. That's the only run so far. Bottom of the 5th, Giants 1, Brewers nothing. In St. Louis, Cardinals lead the Cubs 5-2 in the 8th. And the Madison Mallards' 9-game winning streak ends tonight in Rockford. The Rivets beat the Mallards 7-2. Pretty good turnaround, though. The Mallards were 2-8. They're now 11-9 in the second half. They're back home at Warner Park against the Kalamazoo Growlers tomorrow night, just after 6. And we'll be right back.
It's
Dave's back. One final check of the forecast as we head to the weekend.
Another fantastic night on the way for tonight. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s right now. We'll bottom out in the mid-50s overnight. Just fantastic sleeping weather. Open those windows once again. Last night was fantastic. Tonight, similar story. We're starting off in the 50s, reaching the mid to upper 70s tomorrow with an outside chance of a shower or thunderstorm. Your 7-day forecast showing that unsettled weather staying put. It's kind of like we're in Florida for the next week or so, with pop-up rain chances and showers and thunderstorms possible over the next week or so. But into the start of next weekend, temperatures back into the low to mid 80s, plenty of sunshine. Could feel like the 90s by next Sunday. Once again.
Dave, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 at 10.
Do something good and have a great weekend.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.